The French are often perceived as one of the most secular nations, where religion plays a very minimal role in public life. However, something remarkable is happening. Thousands of French people are secretly converting to Islam. They are driven by a strong desire for purpose, meaning, and connection, rather than politics or protest. People in Paris, Lyon, Marseille, and many smaller towns find peace in the teachings of Islam, which provide clarity and discipline to those who follow them. This is the story of such transformation, a quiet awakening in the heart of Europe. Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. May Allah bless you and your family with barakah. Before we begin, comment where you're watching from, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Islam's Light. Let's spread the light together, inshallah. A report by the French National Institute of Statistics in 2020 says Islam is followed by about 10% of the country's population, including its overseas territories. In Mayotte, almost everyone is Muslim. But these numbers tell only part of the story. The real growth isn't just demographic, it is spiritual. Men and women find in Islam a clear path for living meaningful lives guided by values of honesty, compassion, and purpose. The majority of Muslims in France reside in urban areas like Hauts-de-France, Île-de-France, Provence-Alpes-Côte d'Azur, and Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes. Although Sunni Islam still predominates, there are also thriving Shia, Ahmadiyya, and independent Muslim communities. They combine to create a cultural and religious mosaic that enriches French society. Islam is a vibrant aspect of daily life in these communities rather than merely an abstract concept. A 2024 study by the French Institute of Statistics reported that 76% of Muslims said religion was very important in their lives, and another 24% said it was somewhat important. Faith here isn't about identity but a daily devotion. Many pray 5 times a day, attend local community events, and celebrate Islamic festivals with due care. It forms the core through which they live, love, decide, and guides them with moral strength in every action. Even apart from immigration, the number of Muslims in France keeps growing naturally. According to projections by the Pew Research Center, by 2025, the number of Muslims could reach almost 9 million people. With moderate immigration, that number may rise to over 12 million, and with higher migration, it could go as high as 13 million, almost 1/5 of the people in the country. It is slow but steady growth brought about by families, children, and faith passed from generation to generation. Secularism remains strong in France, but Islam has found its space in the country. The number of women wearing the veil has grown by over 50% in recent years and, for many, that choice represents confidence, not compulsion. And faith is evident in small acts, in the early morning prayer, in the kindness to neighbors, in honesty in business. Across this great land, Islam reminds us of the endless possibilities of a faith that lifts the human spirit. An increasing number of France's native-born citizens are becoming Muslims. Recent estimates of the numbers of converts now stand at anything between 70 and 100,000. Of those, many are women who have found in Islam a sense of peace and moral clarity they feel is missing from modern life. Their journeys are thoughtful, guided by study, reflection, and an inner call to live with purpose. For them, becoming Muslim isn't a rejection of their past, it is the start of a more centered and meaningful life. Behind each conversion is a personal quest. Most converts describe an emptiness in a world driven by materialism and noise. They turn to Islam after reading the Quran, meeting Muslim friends, or just seeking answers to questions that never left their hearts. They ask, "Why am I here? What is right and wrong? How can I live with integrity?" Islam provides clear, grounded answers that unite reason with faith, intellect with emotion. To many French Muslims, Islam brings order and cadence, a day marked by prayer, a heart softened by generosity, and a sense of connection to the community. Ramadan draws people together in the rituals of humility and gratitude, while daily acts of charity keep compassion alive. Faith is not confined to the mosque, it flows into every corner of life, from families and schools to the workplace. Muslim women in France often report experiencing cultural and professional hurdles, yet most talk of Islam as that one single aspect that empowers them. Wearing modest clothes, taking the lead in community activities, or raising children with good values becomes an act of bravery and dignity. A recent report from the European Council on Islamic Education in 2024 presents findings that faith often grants confidence, identity, and clear moral direction to many Muslim women. To them, belief is liberation, not limitation. It is the mosques and Islamic centers throughout France that help in fostering unity. A place of worship, learning, and giving mold society together through youth programs, family counseling, and social support provided for all walks of life. Many converts find guidance and friendship here. These centers create a network of belonging, showing that Islam is not just a personal faith but a living community of care and service. The Muslim population in France is young, energetic, and forward-looking. A large section of this community consists of children and teenagers. According to Pew Center research, this new generation carries their faith proudly into the schools, universities, and workplaces. They mix tradition and modernity, faith and ambition. They are the bridge between Islam's deep roots and France's vibrant future. In France, there is a concept known as laïcité, or secularism. It's a big deal there, and it affects everyday life. It is intended to keep things neutral, but it can be difficult for Muslims. For example, you are not permitted to wear religious symbols in school. People pay attention to how religion is practiced in public. You must think twice before making decisions. Secularism exists to ensure equality, but it has the potential to marginalize religious people. Islamophobia harms Muslims in the media, the workplace, and schools. People frequently associate Islam with extremism, resulting in Muslims receiving unfair treatment when looking for work, obtaining an education, or dealing with the police. The closure of France's collective against Islamophobia in 2020, as well as actions against mosques, demonstrate problems with how organizations treat Muslims. Nonetheless, Muslims are becoming stronger as they support one another and openly discuss these issues. The French media frequently exaggerate stories about Islam, focusing on fights and extremists while ignoring peaceful activities. This has a negative impact on people's perceptions of Islam and Muslims. It encourages the Muslim community to present a more positive and balanced view of their religion. Young Muslims and converts in France are torn between their Islamic heritage and French culture. It's like living a double life, which can be exciting but also difficult because people may question where they truly belong. All of these factors influence how they engage with their community and practice their faith. Muslims are getting more involved in politics, from local government to pushing for changes in rules. It's tricky working with non-religious laws, and arguments about religious symbols show the difficulties. People are trying to balance their faith with being good citizens, while also fighting back against being called separatist. Many French people become Muslims after studying Islam, including the Quran, Hadith, and Islamic philosophy. Islam addresses people's emotions and thoughts, encouraging them to question, learn, and figure things out for themselves. It strikes an appropriate balance of logic and faith and simply feels right. For thousands around France, discovering Islam feels like finding inner peace after a long search. The rhythm of prayer, the beauty of Quranic recitation, and the discipline of fasting bring calm and balance. Many say it helps them cope with stress, loneliness, or uncertainty. Through faith, they reconnect with what matters most in life: gratitude, purpose, and the presence of God in everyday life. The spiritual landscape of France is quietly, though profoundly, changing. People of every background are turning toward Islam, not in rebellion but in longing for truth, community, and peace. But this awakening isn't loud, it isn't political. It is deeply personal. It's the story of hearts finding their faith once more and souls finding home. Such a quiet movement has been growing across France, offering hope and meaning for generations to come.